We ran 2 parent workshops with a focus on helping students learn to read. The first was done early in the year, although a second one was presented in Term 4 as other parents had heard about the success of the first workshop and requested that another one was run. Staff worked collaboratively to plan and present the workshops.
As a team, we came together and first of all we observed each other's literacy practices in their classroom. We went around to everyone's classroom and we had a look at the reading programs that were presented by each teacher. We had a look at the resources that they used so that we had a shared understanding of what it was that we wanted to be able to present in the workshop. We then worked collaboratively several times, meeting prior to the workshop, to really hone in those ideas that we wanted to present and work together to make a pack that supported the ideas that we would be presenting in the workshop.
Oral language is underestimated probably by parents, the importance of it in children having a good basis for starting school and continuing literacy development. The children can be very competent with computers and games, and sometimes they're not having the conversations at home, developing a rich vocabulary, having questions and answers, discussions around the meal table, playing games, and developing a great knowledge of speaking and listening, questioning and answering. And we find a lot more children now are starting school with a deficit of oral language ability.
We began our workshop with a wingdings exercise. Parents were presented with an alphabet chart, a memory game and an electronic text to decode as part of learning how to read. This was an incredibly effective way of engaging parents in a reading opportunity that was really quite difficult for them to do, so that they could understand how hard it is for their child to learn to read.
Reading tests are done regularly by the teacher, at least twice a term, and the reading tests are called running records. And they determine the child's take-home level and the child's instructional level. The take-home level is the level that the child's going to read at home, and it's usually easier. The child's already had success with reading at school, they know the words, so when they go home they were going to be able to be really successful at reading, and it will seem easier. The instructional level is the level they're going to be working on with the teacher in the classroom, and they're going to be learning lots of new words, new comprehension, question marks, exclamation marks and whatever.
When they first start reading, it's mainly the idea of decoding and actually being able to read the words that are on the page, and it's very simple understanding of what is expected of them. But as you get higher in the reading levels, there's more of a descriptive and more of a complex situations they have to actually decipher.
If a parent has attended the workshop and they are much better at listening to their child read, they have much more direction. You can hear them when they're talking to the child, that they have lots of new clues about how to listen to children reading. You hear them asking questions about the beginning of the book and asking questions at the end, and not jumping in to tell them the word as quickly as they usually do. And they also show ways that they can break words up in the way that we've explained in the workshop. So it has been a really helpful process to have a parent workshop.
I have a lot of parents who stay and help the children in my class read in the mornings, but I've noticed they seem to have a better idea of what they can do to support their own child with their reading. I also had some parents attend who are going to start school next year because they've been coming to the 4-year-old program, and those parents, one in particular, is just so enthusiastic because her child's about to start school, and she's got so many ideas from our workshop that she really wants to put into place with her child once she starts school and starts learning to read.
I've observed lots of changes in my classroom with the way that parents work with their children. I specifically targeted several parents in my classroom to come to the workshop. I invited them to come so that I could work with those children and the parents to help their child learn to read better. From that workshop, parents have used the pack that we sent home, and I've watched them in the classroom work on using the skills that we presented at the workshop with their daily reading with their children.